Hello, it's Ada here with our daily podcast. For those who don't know me, I have the wonderful job of overseeing children and families ministry at Holy Trinity Claygate. And like all other areas of ministry, we have done things rather differently in lockdown. We operate on two fronts with pre-recorded sessions for children's groups, Jigsaw, Toddler Praise, and lots of live Zoom sessions for the children's groups throughout the week. But more importantly, throughout this period, my desire and my prayer has been to pursue God's presence and God's call in my life and in my work. At the beginning of lockdown, some of you might remember that I talked about being a God detective, as I sensed that God was inviting us to spot what he was doing in our lives and to engage with that. And looking back, and if I am really honest with the screen in front of me, there have been so many days when I failed at this detective work, when I was unable to see what God was doing or getting caught up in things of little importance. As a society, during this lockdown, we moved from perceived control and independence to a total lack of control and dependence on others. And I know this has been rather challenging for all of us. In the children's groups this term, we have chosen to engage and explore the story of Joseph. And we are taking our time and not skipping too quickly to the happy ending. And some of the lessons that we have learned so far have been particularly relevant during this lockdown period. We have been reminded that even when God gives you a dream, even when you are called to greatness by God, you are not spared of hardships. And you are likely to encounter jealousy and lies, other people's selfish agendas, betrayal of those closest to you. And it is really tempting to feel and to say that God has abandoned you. Yet in each episode in Joseph's story, as a common thread, we encountered the presence of God with Joseph. He was there. And in this lockdown period, in your struggles, in my struggles, in all our challenges, God is there. God remains the same. Personally, one of the greatest challenges in my Christian life has been in the area of independence and control, and just truly surrendering it to God and letting him have full control and depending on him fully. So I could say that this lockdown period has been rather good for my spiritual life, but it has been one of the most challenging experiences of my life so far. And I wonder if you can relate to my experience. As restrictions are starting to lift and we are starting to navigate to look at this rather strange in-between stage, I would like to share with you a few thoughts and maybe leave you with a few questions. I know, and I actually can feel it in the atmosphere, that life is going to go back to the crazy hamster wheel with lots of drop-offs and pickups from hundreds of clubs and activities for our children. And our children have missed out, and we are keen to address that. But yet, also, I sort of sense that this infamous fear of missing out will most likely become our daily companion very soon. And here's my question. How can how can I, how can you live life differently? May I suggest a couple of practical ways, a couple of practical questions you might want to consider for yourself and for your family? Make time to process and reflect on this lockdown experience by asking yourself, or maybe doing it as a family, this two simple question. What has been for you the most difficult thing during this lockdown period? And where was God in it? And the second one, is there one thing, and I'm just saying, challenging you to think of one thing that you do not want to let go, one positive thing that you do not want to let go as life returns to normal? And as I finish, can I encourage you to take the answers to those two questions to God in prayer? Father God, help us to experience your presence with us in everything we do this week. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you.